Okay. All right, I am recording. So let's skip the minutes then and let's go to the election planning. And if Marcy calls in, then we can go back to that one. I currently have 6 people who have signed up to run again. Yep. And I have not gotten any external. So I've gotten 6 people from the board who have signed up to run again. As you guys will recall, we updated the bylaws and we have 12 positions. So if we do not get more than an additional 6 people, we do not have to have an election. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't heard from anybody external. Though I am going to send out another notice. I posted on Nextdoor both to the Overlook, our specific, I don't know what you would call it, our specific group, and I also posted to all of Overlook, and I haven't gotten anything back from anybody. So I'll post again and make sure that people know that the deadline is Saturday. If anybody on this call wants to run again, the deadline is Saturday. Because again, we changed the bylaws, and so now we are having people re-up or say that they're going to run 10 days before. And then provide a bylaw 7 days before that we can post online so that people do not have to come to the general meeting to vote. So let's talk about the election. Again, if there aren't 12 people, everybody gets elected, right? So that's a non-issue. If there are 13 people, what we'll do is we will have the meeting, we'll have the general meeting on September 15th. People will have a couple of minutes to present. We will also, like I said, have the little blurbs posted online, so people will be able to go online. They don't have to attend the meeting. People can speak for 2 minutes, and then what we'll do is we will, if we have any other topics, we'll move on to the other topics, but we will close the voting. And what we'll do is we will have voting on Wednesday and Thursday. On Wednesday, we will have a table. Well, this is the proposal. You guys have to approve it. On Wednesday, we will have a table down at Overlook House outside. These will all be outside. We don't want people to have to go inside. And we'll have potentially the table open for 4 hours. People can go down, they can vote and hand it in. Thursday, the same, but we'll have it up a little bit further north. So potentially Patton Square Park. We can set up a table there. And we'll just announce that, hey, the voting is going to take place on Wednesday from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock at Overlook House. You can go down and vote. We'll bring a pen. We'll have ballots. You just sign, you just check on who you want to vote for, etc. And then we'll tally the votes after the meeting or after the Thursday ballot. So that is the proposal. And the reason for doing that is because we've always had people come in person and sign in, say where they live and sign, that they lived in Overlook. If we just do it online, we don't have that ability to track where people are coming from. We will in the future because now we're starting to track where people, if people call in, and I think you have to attend, what did we get it to? 1 meeting in 6 months.
Yes.
If you attend 1 meeting in 6 months, then you are an active member and you can vote. So once we get past this election, it'll be easier and we'll be able to vote online. But at this point, we have to go about it in this different way. So any thoughts?
Yeah, elaborate on that a little bit more, please.
On why we're not voting during
Yeah, if we voted just online, we can get names and addresses similar to what we were doing before. We weren't doing ID checks or anything. So I'm just checking because I'm probably missing the point.
I don't think you're missing the point. We've just always had people like sign in and sign their names.
True.
So can we vote online? Sure, we probably could. So we can, potentially we could add that as an option. It just gets more difficult that people can make it up anyway, I guess. And will people make up on this election? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. We we could have people vote online. Yeah, Chris.
So, I mean, just a couple other reasons why I think doing it in person over a couple days is advantageous. One, if we have a lot of people turn out for the vote, it becomes unwieldy in Zoom. I mean, if there's 80 people that want to vote on something, that's especially if it's an election where they can each vote for 12 people, or well, 6 people in the future. That's really tough to execute in a Zoom forum. In addition, I like the idea, and this was one of the reasons we did this, to make it more accessible to people. If people can't make it to a meeting on a Tuesday night at 6:30, then they don't get to vote. If we give them the option over 2 days at several hours, it's much more likely that people will be able to come out and cast their ballots. So I would envision in the future we would use this method a lot.
But potentially Brad is suggesting both. Are you suggesting both? Be able to vote at the meeting and then vote? If you don't want to have to go in, I guess.
You could. The downside is that you're going to know where the vote stands at the end of the meeting, essentially.
Oh yeah, that was why, because the votes are confidential. And how do we do a confidential vote online? You can put it into the chat. I mean, you can chat secretly, privately to the chair. So I could get all the votes without anybody knowing what the outcome is.
Hopefully in a year they've got this fixed and figured out. Zoom does with all the money they have now. If you saw that 40% stock jump today.
Well, hopefully in a year we're back to meeting in person.
That would be nice too, of course.
And I would even then suggest, let's do an election on that night, and let's also do one the next day, and give people those extra hours to come out and vote. And we just won't tabulate until after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would suggest not doing it the same hours on Thursday that you did it on Wednesday, so that folks who might work evenings would have a chance to vote.
Okay, so
Makes
we
sense.
could do
Like a Wednesday evening,
11
Thursday morning.
Or Thursday morning, yeah.
Well, I mean, late morning, 10 to 2, 11, something like that. I don't know.
10 to 2, and then on Wednesday do 3 to 7. Something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so 10 to 2 at Patton Square Park, and 3 to 7 at Overlook House.
So we will not do any voting in 2 weeks at the meeting.
That was the plan.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the plan, because it just gets hard to make sure that people are voting privately.
Hey, can I just hear the dates one more time for those 2 dates?
Yeah, so the board meeting is on the 15th. So Overlook House would be Wednesday, the 16th, and that would be 3 to 7 p.m. And then Patton Square Park would be Thursday, the 17th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Excellent, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's the general meeting on the 15th on Zoom,
Yep,
and no voting.
correct. Yep. All right. Does that set any other thoughts on the election, or are we okay with moving forward with that?
I can open the house up at 2:30 if you want.
Say that again?
It's me, Alan.
Yeah.
I said I can open the house at 2:30 if you want.
Oh, okay. Open Overlook House?
Actually do this outdoors. So I'm
Yeah,
not
we're
Well,
going
I
to do
still
it.
have to open the house anyway to get the furniture out.
We just need like a table or something that people
Yeah.
can, yeah. And a chair, probably, for the person who's going to be sitting out there.
So if there's just 12 people or less, and there's going to be no voting, we won't know that until the general meeting.
No, you'll know that on Saturday.
we'll know it's Sunday if we go till midnight Saturday. So
Okay, well, you're not Sunday then.
And you'll be sending out an email about that?
Yes,
Okay. On Sunday,
Sunday morning, bright and early,
on the 13th. On the
Yep.
13th.
on the
Okay,
13th.
Friday the 13th comes on Sunday this month. Okay.
All right, any other thoughts on that?
Okay.
Who's
So at
going
the
to
end of the
staff
meeting,
the
I'll text those.
tables? Well,
Yep, that's my next question. So
All right, sorry.
who would like to staff? So basically I was thinking like 4 2-hour spots. Is anybody available to staff either Patton Square Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or Overlook House from 3 to 7?
I can be at Overlook House.
Yeah, this is Casey. I can do Overlook House if the traffic's okay. I'm kidding. Yeah. So yeah, you just said for 2-hour increments or for the full 4, preferably 2 hours.
I was thinking just 2. So Alan, if you could do like 3 to 5,
Yep.
and then Casey, if you could do 5 to 7, that would be great.
Good. Count me in.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. And then Patton Square Park, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Can anybody manage either one of those?
And that's on the 16th?
That will be on the 16th. Exactly, yeah.
No, on the 7th.
No,
17th.
That will be on the 17th.
Thursday the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're going to be at our cabin at Rockaway that week, so I won't be able to help. Sorry.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm going to be out of town as well.
Okay. I have a teleconference from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I might be able to do after 12. Maybe this time is not good because this is in the middle of the day for people who work to be able to man the table.
Well, I'd throw it out to the board members. Let's see if you get a response.
Okay.
I mean, there's 4 or 5 people there. And
That's true.
You don't need much.
George, can you man the table for a couple of hours on Thursday between 10 and 2?
That would be the 17th.
Yep.
Probably so.
Okay.
I don't have anything on the calendar, but we're in a state of flux. Yeah. Oh,
How about 10 to 2? 10 to, how about 10 to 12? Make them do the whole thing.
And then you get the second
Oh.
part, Alan?
And then I can try to get over there, yeah, and do the second part.
Thank you.
so Thursday the 17th, the voting at Patton Park will be,
From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
that will be the part I do.
Correct.
Okay, and the rest of it is,
Then I can
From
go
12
do
to-
the rest. I can do it.
and the rest is 12 to 4 or?
No, the rest is 2 to 4. No, 12 to 2. Sorry, 12 to 2. We're only doing it for 4 hours total. So you would be 10.
Okay.
You would be 10 to 12, and I would take over from 12 to 2.
So 4 hours total on Thursday the 17th.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
only have 2.
Okay.
Do we have that, and maybe Alan's got it, the Overlook table banner?
I've got it.
I don't know. It'd be nice to have something that makes us kind of look official.
Yeah, I can put it on a table when I set it up.
So we have the table and stuff for Overlook House.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything for Patton Square Park. I mean, I guess we could. Does Patton Square Park have picnic tables?
Picnic tables.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are tables.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
one.
so we have picnic tables. So potentially we can get that banner and just hang it up on a picnic table.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Perfect.
So I would need to pick the banner up?
No, I'll meet you at Patton Park.
Oh, okay.
On Thursday morning.
Yes.
At 10.
Great.
Okay. 10 to 12, 12 to 2. And so the ballots that you'll have the ballots also.
I will try to print out, how many people usually attend? How many people usually vote? 30 to 40?
No, in the past, we've usually had upwards of 80 to 90.
80 to 90.
So about 60 to 90, I'd say.
Yeah, at a regular meeting.
My recommendation is we make an arrangement with Mary. Once we've got our candidate list, I'll put together the ballot, and then we can use the photocopy machine up at the firehouse someday when she's there and just run off the copies we need. We'll run off
Okay.
100 of them. And
Okay, I'll make them on the
And then
smaller side and fit a lot on one piece of paper.
If you're running out, you
we
can
usually
print
put two,
more.
we usually do 2 per sheet. I mean, we could probably do even more than that.
Right.
Part of it's just doing the print large enough for some people to read.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. I could do, 3 at a minimum. Okay. All right, I can do that. I can create the ballots unless you already have a template.
I do have the template. I'll send it over to you.
Okay. All right, what else? Are we forgetting anything else?
If you need a canopy at either place, I don't think it's going to rain by then. It doesn't look like, but who knows? Let me know. I can give you that.
Could you recap?
Say again?
Could you recap the shifts again for me for the minutes?
Yes. On the 17th, Thursday the 17th, George will be at Patton Square Park from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I will be at Patton Square Park from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Am I going too fast?
Nope.
Okay. And then Wednesday, Overlook House, Alan will be manning the table from 3 to 5. And Casey will be 5 to 7. And Alan is going to grab a table and get the Overlook banner and set it up on Wednesday, and then also bring it on Thursday morning to Patton Square Park. And I will create the ballots.
And so will all the ballots be with Alan come from Wednesday, coming to the park on Thursday?
Yeah, I can get them. I can get them to Alan.
And then you'll be taking them with you at noon.
And then I'll take them when
at
I'm
2.
done at 2. Yeah.
Okay. Under lock and key, right? It's with an armed
Yeah.
escort. No.
For sure.
That's right.
With a pen in my hand so I can make changes.
It's a dry run for November. Yeah.
Yeah, is there a process to that though? Is there a process to the voting part? I can't recall. It's just simply, here's the ballot. You check off those who are applicable, and then you, fold it and submit to us.
Yeah. Did we have a box last time? Do we have like a shoe box or something that people can stick it in? I mean, I can probably create one.
Yeah, I think I just made a box that I just cut a hole in the lid and taped it shut.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just make a shoe box so that nobody has access to the ballots until they're done.
Thank you. No hanging chads or anything.
All right. And then in terms of who's gonna,
In 2000
Yeah.
referral, but okay.
yeah,
Yes.
no, I got it. Unfortunately, it was painful.
Chads, yes.
In terms of counting the ballots, I did not. Our North Portland chairs meeting last night was excruciating, so I did not. We went way over time, and I was like, not gonna
Gracious.
ask somebody to do it. But I can send an email and see if anybody from, I don't know, St. John's or Arbor Lodge, since they're close, maybe can count the votes. Maybe I'll ask Ginger. Okay. Or Tom Kawaki, since he seems to do it, has been very helpful doing it in previous years.
Glare off my forehead here.
All right, anything else on the election? Okay, so just a reminder that if I've gotten, like I said, 6 people, if you have not and you want to sign up or want to run again, Saturday at midnight is the deadline. And then just create a 150-word blurb about yourself that we can post online 3 days later. So that is the 5th, so the 8th. So we can post it. All right. Okay, so the only other agenda item we have are board reports. Does anybody have any reports? Anything to report? I can go through.
Well, I'll jump in straight away. As far as public safety goes,
Mhm.
last time I talked to Jacob Brostoff, there's a couple of volunteers, one from University Park and another one from someplace else, who are going to be taking it over, and they're going to be putting out some manner of newsletter, something like that. And it should have actually come out last week, but it didn't. And so he said it's going to be a work in progress. I haven't seen it. I haven't used any other kind of computer except for the one out at my daughter's, and that was last week, and nothing had come through. And there's nothing that's come through on my wife's smartphone here, but then I'm still trying to adjust to that. And so the Peace Act situation is on hold, and as he put it, as long as the riots are going on and everything like that, it's just going to be totally open-ended. And so he didn't anticipate that really anything might start to set in place until the weather changes. And we're looking at probably the latter part of October, maybe into November. And exactly how they're going to try to coordinate it and where they might have it, if indeed they can have a face-to-face meeting, they would probably have to do it by Zoom also. And I'm not sure if the volunteers have their own or if they're going to be using Jacob's. That was also in a kind of a state of flux. So that's about the extent of that. And I think that's about it for me.
All right, so
Perfect.
still waiting.
Still waiting. Yeah, it's, yeah, everybody's not meeting face to face.
Yeah,
So it makes it more complicated, that's for sure. As we're all aware.
definitely. All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Chris, you have anything? I've decided to call on people.
No, I have no updates.
Okay. Brad?
Steel Bridge is back open.
Oh.
Yay. Although I think it's going to close for 1 or 2 more days, and that's about it. And now the next project is the bridge, Interstate Bridge Trunnion, and that is a week from Saturday. So
Exciting.
yeah, so we'll see how this goes, but so far it seems to be, I mean, the good news is traffic is down, so it won't be as bad. That's it.
Cool. All right, thanks.
You say that's going to start the 12th?
Yes, it does start the 12th, so it'll go from Saturday the 12th through Sunday the 20th. 2 weekends and a stretch of weekdays.
Perfect.
Oh, I should give a treasure report.
Right.
We still have money in the bank. And yes, thank you. I have the bill for the newspaper, which I'm going to pay, and that's about it there.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Alan?
I don't have anything.
All right. Casey?
Not for me.
John?
No, not really.
Okay. Cynthia?
I don't have a parks report in particular, but I do have a report about the Failing Street pedestrian bridge. As you all might remember, a neighbor who lives actually around Alberta, so not close to Failing Street, Ross Bradley, he took on the continuation of adopting the basically the maintenance, the cleaning up, the graffiti removal, garbage pickup and so on of the Failing Street pedestrian bridge. I got can't remember if it was first an email or a phone call from somebody from ODOT wondering what if we were continuing to maintain it. And I contacted Ross and just heard from him today. He's not willing to continue with it. It's an unbelievable challenge right now with all of the campers who are close living along the I-5 strip, you know, that's from Kaiser all the way up to Skidmore. And also there are some, it seems that there are some neighbors who are taking the opportunity to throw their garbage at the garbage can right there at the bridge. So I will be unless anybody on the board wants to take responsibility. We already threw out the request for, is there anybody in the neighborhood who wanted to take it on? Ross stepped up and he had a lot of volunteers, but that was before COVID. That was before the onslaught of all of the campers, way more than ever before. And it's just overwhelming. So I'm going to contact ODOT tomorrow and let them know that the Overlook neighborhood is no longer adopting the bridge. They may take down the sign, and it is their responsibility. So
It is a mess over there.
it is a mess.
It is.
I always
Very
used to
much
like
so.
to walk to help or to over to Mississippi on that, but it's not fun.
I would, Cynthia, thank you for all the work you've done on it. I would suggest that if the situation improves dramatically, that we might want to revisit this at some point. And so just to keep that open with ODOT. Some people, you know, if it's not for our current situation, Ross would be happy to do it, or whoever. You found somebody to take it pretty easily, and I think that will come back someday. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I predict that it will get worse, and we will. I can write up a little blurb for the next newsletter, saying basically, without all those details, that when they use the bridge and they see garbage or graffiti, they need to do PDX reporter, and that will get to ODOT and put pressure on ODOT. And then there will be some people who will say, why is there so much garbage and blah, 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 and will come to the surface and be willing to do it. But right now, we don't have that person. And it's way too much to expect a neighbor, a volunteer to take it on. It's way too much.
Agreed.
And I personally am not willing to put out another request in the newsletter.
Oh,
I think at this time it's asking people to do too much above and beyond the call of duty.
Have you talked to Terrence, the Neighbors Helping Neighbors? I know he has a lot more bandwidth, but he has, you know, actually the.
Yeah, he doesn't have bandwidth to take on Failing Street pedestrian bridge.
No.
That is, I mean, it's really significant.
It's
and
significant.
he does an awful lot. So I would not ask him. I actually contacted him because I was wanting him to talk to, or Ross wanted to talk to him, and he never responded for whatever reason. That's fine. But to ask him to take it on is inappropriate. It's just.
Not to take it on, but maybe he has volunteers that are willing to, you know, that might live in the neighborhood that might be interested.
I think Terrence does most of the work by himself. He has a few volunteers, but it's not a lot. I think basically we've come to the point where we really need the city and the state to step up. It is their responsibility and to cause a crisis. And only with a crisis will there be change. And until that time, you know, I mean, there are people I'm sure who do their little part to pick up some garbage here and there, you know, but
It's bad.
Monumental.
That's really
Yeah.
bad.
So down at that site, is there a dumpster and or a porta potty? Because the ones down here, the encampment at Going and Interstate on the southwest corner.
Yeah.
And it's been a couple of weeks since I've been by there. There was actually a porta potty that was put in there.
Mhm.
Portland
and
Parks.
visible from the street.
Portland Parks put that
Parks
in.
did that?
Portland Parks put
I don't
in
know.
quite a few after COVID. They put in hand washing stations. I don't know, 20 or more sites, and Going and Interstate was one of the sites.
And the porta potty, but no dumpster.
I don't know.
Not
I
at
don't
that
know
site.
about garbage. They would never put in a dumpster. But for
Hmm.
garbage, I don't know. But the Failing Street pedestrian bridge is ODOT and PBOT property, not Portland Parks.
And would either of them put in at least a porta potty and maybe they could put in a dumpster to have people put stuff into?
I pleaded with ODOT not to take away the garbage cans, that they agreed when, and Brad will remember, because Brad and I worked with Kay on the Boise neighborhood side to plan the reopening of the pedestrian bridge and our party and everything. And as part of all of that re-engineering of the bridge, they put in the two garbage cans, one on our side, one on the Boise side. And ODOT wants to take them away. They don't want to have any responsibility for cleaning up garbage. And I said, you know, you guys, that was your agreement with the neighborhood that you would keep those in. So they are definitely not going to put dumpsters in.
Unless pressured? Do they need some more pressure to actually do the right damn thing? Pardon my French. That's
I mean,
I
they're
think-
not a waste organization, so probably that was tough to get that agreement anyway, I would imagine.
Yeah.
The amount of garbage being generated along those strips will overwhelm that particular.
Oh yeah, it's overflowing.
so small cans.
Need a better solution there.
Yeah, I agree.
And
All
so
right,
the fellow at was it HUC IRP, Jonathan Lewis, who is dealing with the homeless stuff and whatnot, does he have access to that? I have not spoken to him myself, but Jacob passed along that he had been involved with some of the stuff over in Northwest Portland, that when they're reorganizing over there for their PSAC and whatnot, and trying to take care of the homeless situation that they were having in Old Town Chinatown and stuff like that. So is Jonathan Lewis, is anybody aware, is he still the kind of the point of contact as far as was it Clean Start or something like that, and had to do with the homeless situation, and whether that would involve trash and porta potties and sanitizing stations and stuff like that? Does that ring a bell with anybody?
I don't know him. I don't know who he is.
Okay.
PBOT, or actually somebody in Portland, I'm not sure who, is actually in charge of cleaning up those areas, if I remember right. They got the contract with ODOT. So they'll be the ones. Yep. They took that over probably a year ago now for our section, part of our section.
And yet it would be ODOT that's taking away the trash cans?
They own them, I think.
Okay. And the service to them, probably.
No, Wacker Sanitary has been paid. I thought he volunteered, but I learned from Ross that he's actually been paid by, I guess, Metro to pick up the garbage on our side. On the Boise side, I'm not sure who does that. So if ODOT took away the garbage, then Wacker would never go there pick it up.
Hmm.
And his guys, when they come there, they will only empty the garbage, the big concrete garbage can. So they don't pick up, I mean, people just throw stuff right on the sidewalk, right there by the garbage can. They don't pick any of that stuff up. That's not their job. So it's been us volunteers who do that kind of thing. And again, at this point, it's overwhelmed the heart and spirit
Volunteers.
of the volunteer group. So, we just see what kind of crisis occurs, and hopefully, as Brad, as you said, in the future, we can move on it. But for right now, I just it's not the time. I mean, picking up human waste is really a tough sell for volunteers. It's really a tough sell.
It's pretty gross. All right, well, thank you. It's sad news, but I think we agree with that position. All right, does anybody have anything else before we adjourn? All right, well, our next meeting is September 15th. Will be the elections. I do not know if we have any other agenda items, but I will send out the phone call-in information a couple days before.
So we give our spiel that night.
You'll give your spiel. Yep. So like I said, send me your blurb by the 8th. And then you can either do that same blurb or do a different blurb, whatever, 2 minutes.
Stump speech.
Your
right?
stump speech. Yep.
Yes. Okay. And what about, do we have any other topics?
I do not have any at this time. Do you have any? Does anybody on here have any? There's just not that much going on.
No, we'll be in the middle of the Trunnion mess, but not much to talk about then, hopefully.
It'll be covered on the news. A question comes to my mind since looking back at it. This project that's over here near and dear to my heart, the next 7-story monstrosity that's going to tear down the old credit union and whatnot. We got some kind of a thing from them back when, touting the fact that it was going to have 158 apartments and 0 on-site parking. And the building has been heavily graffitied. They do have chain link fence around it, but that's easily gotten around, obviously, by all the graffiti people. And so I kind of wonder what the status of that is. There's no information at the site.
We need our land use person, but she's not here.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't have that update on it.
Yeah,
I have not seen anything come through in the mail. So, but I don't know. I don't get the emails. She gets the emails.
Okay.
But I'll email her and ask if there's an update.
Okay. And who is that?
Julia.
Julia?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested in getting some information on that. A lot of the other sites have had contact information on the fencing, and I haven't gone all the way around their fencing, but I see nothing.
Yeah, I don't think they were that far into it yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they haven't torn anything down or.
Right there.
Yeah.
Demoed.
Yep. Well, the fencing didn't go up until a couple of months ago, and prior to that, it just sat open access to anybody.
Right.
And graffiti built up, and then really took off, and then they washed it off. Then it got re-graffitied. Then they painted over it. Now it's on its 3rd round of graffiti, and I don't know if I can get the information about who's doing the development. I might try to contact them and say they at least need to put something up so that if there's public complaints about it, they can be directed to the right people. So they can get off their duff and do something, or
we can go back and look in the meeting notes. I know we did it. Was it KOZ? Cause? Does anybody remember? I can go back in a
Is that the
meeting.
one from Seattle?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
so I can go back in the notes and look.
Okay.
No, that's-
All righty.
All
Okay.
right,
I'll ask that
7:15, look at that.
7:15, right on the nose.
Okay.
All right, you guys, unless any objections, we will adjourn and we'll talk to you on the 15th.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
All right, you guys, have a great night.
Good night.
Take care.